Now, although it's given me a coverage, you can see it's quite bare in the centre. So I've got a choice to make. Do I go with that or do I try something different? Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I've been asked by a customer to make a turtle necklace. And I know that somewhere in my stash I have a really cute turtle mould. Do you think I can find it? No. So I went to the same person that I bought the last turtle mould from, and she didn't have the same one, but she did have some others. So I bought off of Etsy 3 turtle moulds, and I'm going to see how many different ways I can make turtles, because I do love turtles. I love the moulds as well, they're very cute. So anyway, I will put her link in the description box below and let's have a go at making some turtles. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of research on turtles just to make sure I know what kind of colours they are. And it's surprising how many different colours they come in. And they dance underwater with the light, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So it's up to me to make something similar. So these are the turtle moulds that I bought from Etsy, and also the 4 tortoise mould that I bought from Temu. The first one has a shiny middle piece. The little tortoise ones I just thought were so sweet. The other 2 are matte. Now, matte will give you a completely different finish. I'm hoping that they will be cool. So as 2 of them are completely matte, I thought I would try Chimera and Dragon Flakes. These are gorgeous colours from Emma the Tiny Turner, and I do stock them on toonpish.com together with practically every colour I use in this video. Actually, I'm obsessed with her colours. But this little mould has a shell in the centre. Now, in that shell are lots of different points. They're like tiny dots that give off a pattern. So I put Chimera in the middle, and I decided to go with Kraken that was an opposing colour on the outside pieces, the head, the fins, the tail. Now, in my head, these colours went together. I don't like green, you know I don't like green, and that's probably why I'm not keen on the outcome of this piece. However, the colours themselves are stunning. I just don't think they work, for me at least. But this is the first piece that I'm making, and I figured because they were matte moulds, the chameleon flakes would actually work quite well. You can see there the pattern of the shell on the inside with all its little points. Now I'm going to use black behind this piece, and I cannot see the points, but we'll come to that. Moving on to the small, completely matte turtle. This has got like a blackberry shell, and I thought it was really lovely. I'm going to fill this shell up, just the shell part, with clear UV resin, making sure I only go up to the top of the bobbly shell. I make sure I get out any bubbles that may have got stuck. I'm using a little wooden stick for that. These little wooden sticks are actually really handy. Again, they're from Temu. And I just add a few more drops of UV resin just to get to the top of where I want it to go. I am being very particular on how deep I want this resin. I use a long neck lighter to get rid of any surface bubbles, and when I am totally happy that it's bubble free, pop it into my double-sided Let's Resin curing station. And it cured beautifully in 5 minutes. Now I am deciding at this point, what do I want to do? So again, I've picked up the dragon flakes. Now I am going to smother this in the dragon flakes, and because the resin in the centre has completely cured, they probably won't stick very well to it. You really need a tacky surface for the flakes to stick to resin. Now, although it's given me a coverage, you can see it's quite bare in the centre. So I've got a choice to make. Do I go with that or do I try something different? So what I decided to do was do it again. So I put a little bit of UV resin just in the center. Now I'm going to spread this very thin because I need this to be tacky, and I'm going to give it a quick flash cure, very quick flash cure with a torch. That's it. It was very quick. That will remain sticky enough for me to put some Phoenix flakes on top. If I'd have put it in the curing machine, it would have cured pretty much within seconds. So the torch was my better option. And now I've got a nice sticky surface for my flakes to stick to, and they will only stick where there isn't flakes already on the centre of the turtle shell. Now I actually have never tried putting flakes on top of flakes to see whether it changes the colour. This will be interesting, but it's changed the centre completely and it looks spectacular through the bottom. Moving on to the turtle that has the completely shiny middle part. I figured I wanted that clear too. So I'm just filling up the middle part with, again, Let's Resin UV resin, and I'm curing it in my double-sided curing station. Now I'm going to add some dichroic film. Now if you don't know what dichroic film is, I will link a video in the top right hand corner that shows you how to make it. Dichroic film is amazing stuff. You can get so many colours in this just by changing which films you add together. This was a piece I had left in a drawer and I'm making use of it. I've cut a template to fit in the centre of this turtle because it's not round, it's a hexagon, I think, 6-sided. I think that's a hexagon. And I've glued it in place with another layer of clear UV resin. Now I'm going to colour the outside, and I'm using Arcane Chameleon powder, again from the Tiny Turner collection. Now, for some reason, I started making these pieces, all three of them, with dark colours. I don't quite know why. I think I wanted them to have impact, and for me, the darker the colour, the more impact. But later I changed my mind. With a little tortoise mould, I'm just going to do each tortoise a different colour of chameleon flakes. It's very straightforward for me. That's all I'm going to do with these. I'm not going to change it up. I'm just going to do 4 little chameleon coloured tortoises. And I've included it in this video just because I think they're such sweet little tortoises. I mean, I'm doing turtles, I know, but kind of the same family, aren't they? Very sweet little mould, this. And I just thought I'd add it in and show you what I was doing with it. But I'm not going to linger on this part, believe me. So the first colour was Manticore, and it's a purple blue, absolutely stunning colour. The second colour is Harpy, a really dark purple. Absolutely stunning if you like purple. The third colour is Mermaid, which is a green, not my favourite, I've got to admit, but it's got kind of goldy bits in it. And the last one is Basilisk, and that is a beautiful dusky blue. And there they are, all 4 done and ready for black epoxy resin. And they're all done now, so I make up my black epoxy resin, which is Let's Resin 2-part epoxy resin. Everything I use for this video will be linked in the description box below, together with a Let's Resin 10% discount code for America, UK and Canada, so don't forget to check out the information box below the video, or go to toonpish.com where you'll find all my discount codes and affiliate links. And I fill them up with black, making sure I don't over pour them, and if I do, I can always take a little bit out, but I do use a pipette later and make sure I get just the right amount of epoxy resin in there. It's very difficult on these tiny moulds to pour from a big cup. Cotton buds really help though. You can dip it in and take a bit out. When you don't need that much taken out, they are amazing little things. I use them quite a lot. And as I said, I just top them up with a pipette and make sure I've got all the stuck bubbles out from under the fins. So the following day I can check out what I've got. I do like demoulding day, don't you? And to start with, I'm just going to demould the 4 little tortoises. Is it tortoises? Tortoise? I think it's tortoises. They are really sweet, and I'm going to put these together in one keychain. I just wanted to make them. I thought they were adorable little pieces. Isn't they cute? Now for the 3 turtles, and I'm really excited to see these. So the first one was the green and chimera flakes, and honestly I'm so disappointed. Honestly, it's awful in my opinion. I really don't like it. The points have all got bubbles in, and the matte mould does not do anything for those beautiful colours. Let's just brush over that one and move on. This is the little bobbly one. Now this is, I believe, dragon with phoenix as well, and look at that shimmer. Now that is what I wanted. That is so sweet. It changes colour, and it's got that light effect in it. It's absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. I'm not too keen on the dragon colour around the outside. Now this is where I start thinking I need to make lighter colours. But now I know that middle part is absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with that. I just need to make a different colour one. Demoulding the one with the clear centre. It's a funny shaped mould, this one. Again, I really like the centre, and it really stands out as being beautiful with that dichroic film. But the dark around the outside just doesn't do it. Because it's matte, I think it needs to be lighter. I mean, I love the gold, and it does stand out against that gorgeous purple. But because it's matte, it just doesn't do it. The colours just don't look right in my opinion. So I make some more. Now, to save you having to watch the same thing over and over again, I'm just laying out what I'm doing. I've put some clear in the centre of the shell turtle, and I've also put some clear in the centre of the hexagon turtle. Now the hexagon one's already cured, and I'm going to put some dichroic film in the centre of that with some more UV resin. Once they're both cured, I'm going to colour the outside edges, but this time I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to use some ethereal pigments, which are really light coloured. This one's Galaxy, and it's a pinky purple colour, and I'm going around the bobbly part of the outside of the hexagon. Now they are designed that you can put white behind, you can put black behind, or you can put clear behind. And the amount of colour pigment that shows through depends on what's behind them. So I don't have to put black. This also helps when you're using UV resin. This one's Supernova, and it's kind of an orange colour with a little bit of gold in it. So these are going to be extremely light coloured. So far, so good. With the shell one, I've already put some dichroic film in the centre. I'm now going to fill up the rest almost to the top with clear resin, completely clear, and I'm going to cure it. Once that's cured, I have a nearly to the top ball mould. Just gives me a little bit of wiggle room to put some nebula. Of course, if you was making this yourself, you don't have to use these colours. You can choose whatever colours you want. This is a pinky colour, absolutely stunning, and I'm going to go over the top of everything in this pink. Now, it's not going to stick because this resin is cured. It's not sticky. It's not going to stay completely, but it will give a mist effect. Can you see that? Like a pinky mist. Now I do need to fill up the back of this mould, and I figured I wanted to put a darker colour in but not a black. So I'm going to use a tiny amount of the nebula in some UV resin and just add in a tiny fraction of black to give it a bit of a matte appearance, a bit of a darker appearance, but it is still going to be a pink, more of a dusty dark pink, but not black. It's got to be quite see-through. It's UV resin after all, and it needs to cure. So a very thin layer of this mix on the back and a final coat of clear UV resin. And 5 minutes later I can demold it. Don't you just love UV resin? And this UV resin is so tough. In my opinion, it's tougher than 2-part epoxy resin. Admittedly, it's for small projects and it's not for everybody, but I love it. Now that is what I call beautiful. That dichroic film is all sorts of colours in the centre, and the pink around the outside just makes it absolutely stand out in my opinion, and that to me is gorgeous. Hands down my favourite, and I really do love it. Now I do go on and make more. The same sort of thing with the ethereal powders, with clear resin, with dichroic film. I get a bit addicted, to be honest. I just carry on and make quite a few, and I thoroughly enjoy myself. Once I'd figured out I wanted the dichroic film to be colourful in the middle and to have a light colour around the outside, I just couldn't stop making them, and I would have carried on, but I ran out of day. But these pieces are gorgeous. That dark in the middle with the light colours around the edge, I think they're adorable. These bobbly ones, the blackberry turtles, they're just gorgeous. I mean, that gold colour in the centre just shines. This has got to be one of my all-time favourite projects. There is a lot to be said for matte moulds, and I think they have their place and they do work beautifully. And the ones with the shiny centre, adorable. And apart from that very first one I made, I tried to make it look better with a silver marker and it just made it look worse. I tried to cover it in a shiny coat of UV resin and it made it look worse. And you know what? That's only fit for the bin. It's horrible. But the others all turned out absolutely beautiful, and I turned them all into necklaces, apart from the 4 little ones that all went on a keychain. I gave my client the option of which one she wanted. She chose her favourite, and the rest would be on sale on toonpish.com. But I absolutely love them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one and I hope you've got something out of it. It's quite a long one for me, 17 minutes now, so if you're still here, consider pressing that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything and it does help my channel out. Anyway, come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week, happy crafting, and bye for now.